What's up, y'all? This is JT or whatever my channel's called. I can't even remember anymore. I just wanted to do a little quick run around of my studio environment, which is a mess because it got pushed to the side and basically used as storage for a long time, and now I'm starting to get back into it. And I don't really have a choice there. Nothing much for me to do with myself, but as you can see, I have JBL LSR 305s. They're a 5-inch speaker with a really good tweeter, and as you can see, the design around the tweeter makes it so it fills the room rather than just shoot in one direction. The bass response on these is fantastic. It does have a little bit of trouble with the mid-range, and a lot of times if I mix on these speakers and I take them out to my car, it'll be super duper like muddy in the mid-range. So that's one of the things about this is the first generation. There's a second and possibly a third. I'm not sure yet. I don't study that stuff. I just use what I use and I do my thing. This microphone on the right is a Sterling Audio ST51, and I've got a Blue Coil pop filter. It's a double. And then I've got this stand. I cannot remember the brand of the stand, but it might be also Blue Coil because it came with all these little tie downs for your cables, which I didn't even use. I think maybe 1, 2, 3 on this side. But like I said, that's a Sterling Audio ST51. It's got a good cable going to it. I'm not sure the brand off the top of my head. This cable is a good cable. It came with an Audio Technica dynamic mic, and it's been my go-to because your cables will mess up your signal from your mic and make it sound distorted, or even, I don't know, they change like pitches and stuff that the mic picks up normally. But this microphone is an MXL 4000, and I've had it for gee whiz, probably more than 15 years, maybe even close to 20. I'm not sure exactly. It's been a long time since I got this mic, and it did come with a little pencil mic that's about this big, but I don't know what I did with it, so it's missing at the moment. My interface is a Tascam US 800, and it's not the best by any means, but it is good. I mean, it makes clean recordings as long as you're not clipping on there. You can tell when you're clipping because there's little red dots, and then you just turn down each knob as you need to and make sure you set your levels correct. And the sound floor on it, basically it does not pick up any extra noise. It will pick up stuff that's in the room, like the microphone will pick up stuff in the room, but there's no interference on the actual audio signal. And Tascam is a pretty good brand as far as I know, and they might have newer versions of this one has to be plugged into the wall, and then you plug it into your computer through USB. It's got a slow USB rather than a fast USB. This is an old HP, gee whiz, I don't even remember an Envy. Yeah, it's an Envy with a i7 and a GeForce NVIDIA, which, unless I game, doesn't really matter because it won't affect your studio recording programs or any of that. What I use for this computer is 11. I use FL Studio 11 because I don't do much besides record audio. When it comes to making beats, I have another computer underneath here, and it's a Lenovo G560 from 2010. and it has FL Studio 10 on it, where they didn't get rid of the legacy blocks, and I use the legacy blocks a lot. And even though it's so old and it's an i5 from like, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, it still rocks. Like it'll still get the job done. It, as long as you don't use too many CPU intensive plugins, it will not like overload it. So that's the one that's underneath the HP. Then I have two more computers over here, a Lenovo gaming computer from a while back, and then a Dell, just, internet browsing, documents, stuff like that, computer with a touch screen. These are actually both touchscreen. This one was touchscreen, but I slammed it down really hard one time when I was gaming, and it just broke the screen, like the glass, which is the capacitive touch part. And so now it no longer works that way. All right, so these are my homemade speaker stands, and as you can see on the front there's a little riser, in the back there's no riser, and what it does is it leans it up towards my face. And so as you can see, when I sit back in my chair, the speakers are almost looking straight at me. I need to adjust them just a hair. This one needs to come in a little bit, and this one, actually that one's pretty good, maybe just a tiny bit. But that's what they call triangulation when it comes to monitoring your speakers. Like when you're up doing and making recording and stuff like that, you don't need to be close to your speakers at all. When you're doing what you do as a master listening, you want to sit back to where your head is triangled in between the speakers, and that's exactly how I have it set up. The speakers aren't usually on at all when I'm recording. They will be on if I were to say to make a beat, which I haven't done in a very long time and I need to do. But I don't do it on this FL11 because they took away the legacy blocks. And apparently on the newest one, which I'm afraid to upgrade to it, because I have seen videos on it and it looks so much more complicated, and I can get what I need to do done fairly easily and not have to worry about any of that. My headphone of choice is Audio Technica. I have two pairs of the M50Xs. I originally had a pair of the, I think it was just M50, and I ended up breaking them, and so I got that pair. And as you can see, it's got tape over the top because the leather ripped, and the headphone cushions are just basically like the underneath of the leather, which it's really soft, but it lets way too much bleed through go into the mic. And as you wear these through years and years, you can see that they're stretched out. You can see the top is a little bit flat. So that's what happens. And then here's the newer pair. You can see that they hold the tension pretty good, pretty well. Sometimes I use an external keyboard and I'll sit back, but then I have to get up there to reach the mouse. I never use the touchpad if I can stay away from it, because I do not like doing that on any of these programs, which this is the only program that I have now. I used to have Pro Tools way back in the day. I had a Cubase that came with the Tascam, and I lost the CD and the code for it, so I can't use it anymore. But yeah, I had it. And what am I forgetting? Okay, well, I might have covered this in a little bit, but these mic stands right here are awesome, especially if you're at a desk. And make sure your desk has like a lip on it, otherwise you can't use these. And what you do is you just clamp it down on the edge, and then after that you can just, let me back this up. You can just swing it out. You can bring it right to you, right to your face. Boom, there you go. And then as you can see, it's like way out. But then all you gotta do is just fold it back out of the way. And obviously keep it out of the way of the speaker so you can hear them. That's why that one's way up. And that's, yeah, the springs on them hold. Even this heavy MXL 4000, they hold and they don't move. I had to adjust this spring one notch over to the highest tension because it was kind of fading a little bit. And then for pop filters, I just use El Cheapos, and I just loaned my decent one. It's not a good one, but it was a decent one. It was hooked on that mic stand right there, which obviously you can see weights on it because it used to fall over. I let him borrow it, and he's like, wow dude, it's such an amazing pop filter. These are all doubles. Yeah, they're all doubles. And then as you can see on this one, I also have the extra dust screen, which I don't have on this one, and that's bad. Dust is your enemy, and as you can see, there's a lot of it. It will actually ruin your condenser mics. It'll ruin pretty much everything. If it gets in your speakers, it'll ruin them. But enough enough talking. I just want to show you real quick. I believe this was the last song that I did. It's not even me. I don't need a medicator. I just need a meditator. Let my mind float away until I'm in a better place. I don't need a medicator. I just need a meditator. Let my mind float away. Yeah, so that song I did started in 10/10, as you can see, the 10/10/23. So that's the day I started working on it. I'm pretty sure that I got almost the entire thing done, maybe not the intro. But yeah, I did that all in one day. And as you can see, I overdubbed so much. And my friend constantly is giving me shit about it. Like, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. But I love the chorusing effect. And hopefully that even came through on the phone's microphone. But yeah, if there's any questions, and if you made it this far, like, ask me. I will fill you in the best I can. And when it comes to actually doing the music, I've been having trouble lately, and I'm having a lot of serious things that are happening in my life that are weighing me down. So I've got a lot of stuff to, you know, basically let out. And another thing that I wanted to show you before I go is I've got this cable right here. You can see this cable. Well, it runs down there straight to the computer, and then I just run it mono into input 2. I've got 2 adapters, and I had 2 cables, and I would take them, split them into one channel with this little adapter, but the other cable for some reason is causing wicked interference and it doesn't work. So, and it was a new cable. I don't understand. It just stopped working one day. And oh, I also have one of my original mics, the MCA SP2 by Marshall, and this is a battery operated mic. So you take this cover off right here and unscrew it. You can see that I had to use a wrench one time, and there's a little 9-volt battery source, and then you don't need a phantom powered audio interface. You can just basically plug it in straight to your computer if you have the right adapters, which I don't recommend. And on the newer computers, there's only one plug, so you can't really do that anymore. They used to have 2 plugs where on the Lenovo there's 2 plugs. There's a mic input and also a headphone output, but they don't do that anymore. So I don't know if you could get that to work with modern day equipment. But like I said, that will work without an audio interface powering it. Like, yeah, it's just a cool little feature that it has. But I hardly ever use these 2 mics because they're too warm, and they're just too bassy, and they cut off a lot of the high end, which is something that I like. I like that high end to come through, especially when I'm doing my overdubs. And my overdubs are like a high pitched voice, which I will do like super high pitched. I can't do it right now because my voice is a little hoarse, but yeah, so I'll do a lower register and then I'll do a higher register, and then I'll mix them together in a way. I have my secret sauce when it comes to that. And so when you play the whole thing together, it sounds almost like a solid object or like a solid frequency, even though there's competing frequencies. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll inflect one way on the high and I'll inflect a different way on the low, or deflect. I don't know the terminology, but like I'll go low on the lows and then I'll go high on the highs. And so yeah, so normally they're usually about the same, but then they'll split like at the end. It's just something I do. Well, if you made it this far, I am so proud of you. You have an attention span of an amazing person. But one thing I forgot to mention is always plug your stuff into a surge protector, because your speakers are always on. I'm not sure there's even a turn off switch. If there is, I don't know, but I never turn them off that way. What I do is I just click this off, and it turns the interface on because there's no switch on the interface, and then it also stops charging my laptops, which is bad, because if you don't charge them for a really long time, then the batteries will not take a charge. And then as you can see, this one, I bought a new battery for it like not too long ago, maybe 2-3 years ago, and as you can see, it won't charge all the way up. And my ex, for some reason, decided to take my plug and break it. So then I had to drill out a bunch of junk that she jammed in the end of it. I'm not sure why she did that. She was mad at me for something, but I mean, now it doesn't work very well. So sometimes it'll like just barely move and then it'll stop charging and it becomes a pain in the butt. Or like if it moves to the side. But right now it's been plugged in for like probably 3 days more and it's not charged all the way up. So there's something going on with the battery. But yeah, that's an overview. This is just a desk, just junk in the drawers. Of course, there's junk all over it, and obviously, there's just junk everywhere. So one of these days, I'll get this cleaned up and nice, and start making music again. And hopefully, you guys will listen to it. If not, I mean, what can I do? But thank you for watching. If I missed anything, just let me know in the comments. Thank you.